Y'all, this is why we buy physical copies of albums. For those of you that listen to music on streaming services, how many times has this happened to you? You're listening to an old album and you notice when looking at the track list, whether you're on your laptop or on your phone, some songs on the track list are grayed out and you can't select them, you can't play them. Those songs, even though they appear in the track list, are unplayable. This has actually happened to me a few times. There have been a few instances in the past few years where some songs off George Strait albums from, the 1990s or whatever are grayed out and unplayable. And usually this is often due to lawsuits or copyright disputes with songwriters or something like that. So for a temporary time period until contracts are negotiated, those songs are taken down from streaming services due to the copyright dispute. And lately, if you are a big fan of Dwight Yoakam, and especially his first album, the classic Guitars, Cadillacs, etc., one of the best debut albums in the history of country music, you may have noticed that two of his songs, including one of his biggest hits from that era, are now no longer available on streaming services. And I also haven't checked, but I don't think they're even available on iTunes either. And that is Honky Tonk Man and Miner's Prayer, both of which again are two tracks on his Guitars, Cadillacs, etc. album. And for the present moment, as I'm making this video, neither of those songs are available for you to play in digital format anymore. Now, at first, when I saw this headline, and I'm reading off this article on savingcountrymusic.com, which is an excellent blog. If you don't read Saving Country Music, you really should. So I'm going to be, going through this article and then giving my commentary on it, and I think what this means just as far as digital music versus physical media is concerned. At first, when I heard that these songs were taken down, I thought it was because, these aren't Dwight Yoakam originals. Dwight Yoakam did not write Honky Tonk Man. It's actually a Johnny Horton song, came out in the 1950s. And so I thought, maybe the original songwriters or their lawyers or whatever, finally came out of the woodwork all these decades later and were like, hey man, you're not paying us enough, and, got the song taken down decades later, which, it's possible. It's a cover song. It's not Dwight Yoakam's. That could happen. But the reason that both of these songs have disappeared from the track list of Guitars, Cadillacs, etc. is because, and I'm reading off the article now, this is a case in the United States District Court of Central California, and Dwight Yoakam is suing Warner Music Group. So he's suing the record labels here. He is suing Warner Music Group for failing to return the copyrights to his songs from the album per Section 203 of the Copyright Act. Basically, there is a provision in the U.S. copyright law that states that after 35 years, original authors can cancel copyright grants signed away to others and reclaim them for themselves. And so what has happened is that Dwight Yoakam in 2019 notified Warner Music Group that the deadline was coming up. The 35th anniversary of Guitars, Cadillacs, etc. is this year, 2021. The album came out in 1986. It's been 35 years. And he notified them a couple years ago, hey, the time's coming up soon. I'm going to try and reclaim these copyrights, basically. And so what happened was in December of 2020, just a couple months ago, he submitted his own copyright notices to be officially recorded with the U.S. Copyright Office. Warner Music Group never responded to this. They left Dwight out in the cold, never responded to his claims that hey, I'm going to take my copyrights back. And so basically the reason why just these two songs have been affected is because even though the album's 35th anniversary has not officially come up, it was released on March 12th of 1986, the song Honky Tonk Man was released as a single in January of 1986, and Miner's Prayer was the B-side. So those songs were officially released 35 years ago. The full album still has a couple months to go. So basically what's going on is that Warner Music Group is taking down the songs so they don't earn any more profit. So basically cannot come into dispute in the lawsuit. So in a way, as it says in the lawsuit, which I can give y'all the PDF for. It's really funny. It's a really entertaining read because I don't know how common the phrase gravy train is in lawsuits, but it appears in this one. It's kind of funny to read. Basically, they're saying, this is a direct quote, the defendants, Warner Music Group, by refusing to return Mr. Yoakam's works while simultaneously refusing to exploit those same works, are essentially holding Mr. Yoakam's copyrights hostage and paralyzing Mr. Yoakam from financially benefiting from a statutory right to terminate the transfer of his copyrights. So basically, Warner Music Group is saying, if we can't make money off these anymore, no one can. And so they're just going to erase them basically from the digital media space, so you can't stream the songs anymore, because Dwight Yoakam is saying, hey, I'm going to reclaim these copyrights for my songs. I want to make the money off them now. And so Warner Music Group is saying, until this gets figured out, no one can listen to this stuff. And so obviously, this is really condensing the depth of this lawsuit here. I'm sure I may have gotten something wrong basically, but The reason why this is important is because, again, the 35th anniversary of the album itself is coming up soon. So for all we know, if Dwight Yoakam keeps fighting this, and something is not resolved within the next couple of months or so, the entire album will probably disappear from Spotify and from iTunes, because Warner Music Group is going to say, as long as this is under dispute, we can't make money off it, we're just going to, take it down entirely. Hey everyone, Grant back with an update. I just wanted to confirm some things and check to see if everything was up to date before I uploaded this video. And get this. So I checked Spotify, and the only song missing from the album now is Miner's Prayer. Honky Tonk Man is still there, which is kind of weird. So only one of those songs is not there, but the other one is. But get this. I just checked iTunes, and I kid you not, Guitars, Cadillacs, etc., is not on iTunes. It is not there. I looked it up by name. I ordered from chronological order, oldest albums to newest albums. That album is not on iTunes anymore. Crazy. Which is crazy to think of, that, Warner Music Group can basically hold a beloved country classic album hostage because they're not going to be making money off it anymore, and sort of as a big middle finger to Dwight Yoakam for suing them, and also as a big middle finger to his fans, they're just going to say, no one can listen to this until we get the copyrights resolved. And so as I said in the introduction, this is why owning physical media is so important, because in the digital music space, Spotify, iTunes, you don't really own the albums. With iTunes, you own a digital copy of it, but files can still be altered. On Spotify, an artist can take down tracks willy-nilly. There are plenty of examples of artists restructuring track lists, or deleting songs, or altering lyrics, or adding a feature to a song that was already released, or changing their album covers. That's happened a lot. So when your album is digital, you don't really own it, because the artist or the record label can retroactively do whatever they want to it. If they want to erase an entire song from existence, they can do it. They can remove everything from digital marketplaces, and I think they could even erase something from your iTunes library, right? I'm pretty sure they can do that. Meanwhile, they have not developed the technology to retroactively wipe CDs, and of course that you cannot alter a cassette tape or a vinyl record because it's an analog format, and it's not digital, and you can't literally go in there and beat down someone's door and erase segments of the tape for every person who owns the album, right? Because the album's multi-platinum, you can't go erase millions of copies of it. So again, this is why buying physical albums is so important, because hey man, the suits can't erase what you buy and what you own. And man, I just really hope that this gets resolved, because I'm sure that Dwight Yoakam is not the only person who's trying to do this. So for all we know, tons of artists from back then are going to look at their watches and say, hey man, it's been 35 years, and they're going to try and reclaim their copyrights. And for all we know, old school albums can be dropping left and right from digital marketplaces because the copyrights haven't been resolved. So if you are a fan of that era of country music, I would go ahead and buy as many records, tapes, and CDs as you can, because for all you know, an artist's entire library could drop off the face of the planet tomorrow off Spotify or iTunes, and you can't buy it digitally anymore. So tell me what you guys think of this lawsuit in the comments section. Again, shout out to Saving Country Music and a Trigger over there, Kyle Corneos, who is the author, for writing this story. For all I know, I'm posting this a few days after the original story came out, so more developments could have come in. I'm just sort of giving my opinion and my commentary, but again, let me know what you guys think, and also if you enjoy this format of shorter news videos, and if you guys want me to do more of them. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and let me know what you guys think in the comments section, and make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys.